Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching The Breakfast Show, and still we are celebrating Eid al-Fitr for its second day, and the honoring of the President on the day of Eid for the martyrs and their families. Also, we will shed light on the government's efforts to combat terrorism using new technologies with our dear guest for today, Dr. Nevine Makram Labib, Professor of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Consultant. Good morning.
Good morning. Dear.
So, Dr. Nevine, as I've just mentioned, that artificial intelligence also is critical nowadays in our lives, and it plays an important role in different sectors. Let's first introduce what is meant by artificial intelligence.
Okay, artificial intelligence has many definitions, as we all say, but we'll be talking about artificial intelligence from a data science perspective. So we can say that artificial intelligence has some techniques that can deal with different data, whether structured or unstructured, in order to get some predictions, some new patterns that may be of some help to the decision makers or the decision takers. So that's from the data perspective.
Yes. So also you are talking about data, you are a data science consultant. Tell us more about its importance nowadays.
Okay, actually nowadays we're not talking about being reactive, but being proactive. So being proactive means that we need to focus on the existing data. We need to make it good data, not noisy data.
Yes.
And we need to do some predictions and take some proactive or some, let's say, corrective actions that's taken in good timing, because timing is very important for the decision makers.
Yes, so if we, as I've just mentioned, that using artificial intelligence and data science to combat terrorism is a kind of a new method or a new way of combating terrorism. So how can we do this?
Okay. Again, we'll be focusing on the data, whether structured or unstructured. Yes. By structured, we're talking about, for example, the personal data of a terrorist. So for the personal data of a terrorist, we need to know his or her nationality, education level, income level, style of life, and so on. And by unstructured data, we're talking about the external data.
Yes.
The political factors, the economic factors, and other external factors that may affect the terrorism. So we deal with these types of data. And again, we deal with different types, whether we're talking about the audio, the video, the images, the text. And then we apply some techniques.
Yes.
These techniques are borrowed from many disciplines. And these techniques help us to find or to discover new patterns that had already led to this terrorist or the terrorist attacks. So that's the, let's say, the technique or the methodology we're using.
Have we already started applying artificial intelligence in combating terrorism and insecurity operations?
Yes.
Already started applying?
Yes, because we have the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, and we're aiming at applying it in all of the institutions. So regarding the terrorism, it's the same methodology.
Yes.
And I guess it's one of the most important applications.
Yes, Dr. Nevine.
Because we're talking about people's lives.
Of course. Yes, Dr. Nevine, we'll go for a short break and we'll be back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching The Breakfast Show, and still we are having here in the studio Dr. Nevine Makram Labib, Professor of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Consultant. So, Dr. Nevine, we were talking about the importance of artificial intelligence nowadays in combating terrorism and in security operations in general. What are the opportunities?
Okay, actually we're focusing before the break on the prediction.
Yes.
How can we predict? So, in order to be able to predict, we need to have good data and enough data.
Yes.
Sometimes more data is not better because we need what we call validated data. We're relying on data, so these data should be accurate, should be complete, and should be coming from good resources, or let's say credible resources.
Yes.
So that's one of the main requirements, if we may say, and that's available right now. So we're focusing on these data, but we have some challenges on the other hand, because some of the challenges is not having enough data related to good samples for us, because we have kind of a minimum data in order to rely on it for the prediction. So sometimes this is not available. So that's one requirement, and on the other hand, it's a challenge. Okay.
Yes. So do you think that we still need to train people on the use of artificial intelligence and making it more widespread, because still many people don't know how to apply artificial intelligence in life?
Okay. We need first of all to make a kind of awareness campaigns, so that all of the people, the Egyptians, should be more aware of the importance of artificial intelligence, that it is not luxury, but it's very important. And that was very obvious with the coronavirus era.
Yes.
Because we needed to rely on artificial intelligence techniques in order to be able to do our work, whether we're talking about education, about providing healthcare services, about dealing with the terrorist attacks. So it was available in all domains, in various domains. So that's as a start. We need to make people aware of the concept of artificial intelligence, because some people think that it is only related to robotics and they're scared of the robots, but that's not the case. And another thing is that to prepare the youth and to prepare the employees and to prepare the decision makers. So we need to work on their mindset. They need not only to be trained on how to make use of artificial intelligence, but to be convinced that it's important in the decision-making pattern.
Yes, so if we talk about the government's efforts to support artificial intelligence and to spread it in universities and to make students more aware about its importance, now we can see that we have artificial intelligence now as a main specialty in different Egyptian universities. So how do you see this support by the government?
Okay, we're working now on educating the youth.
Yes.
So we have many faculties right now focusing on the artificial intelligence, and we have some multidisciplinary programs as well, so as to be able to apply the artificial intelligence in various domains. As for the employees, we're talking about some training programs, specialized training programs, especially when we talk about the terrorism. So, for example, I'm teaching this topic in Police Academy, and we're trying to change the mindset.
To security.
Yes, it's related to security. I'm applying the artificial intelligence in security issues in order to be able to benefit from the AI and from the data science disciplines. That's very important, because in this domain, in this specific domain, we need to be proactive, not reactive. So we need to give the decision makers the patents on time, so that they'll be able to work on plans so as to avoid these attacks.
So if we talk in general about using artificial intelligence in the development process, how can we use it in general, not only in the field of security or fighting terrorism, its role in the development process in general?
Okay, we can apply one of the two perspectives. Either we focus on the data, so again we'll be collecting good data and then processing these data in order to have some predictions, and then working on what we call the prescriptive issues, having some corrective issues, trying to avoid the expected problems. Or we take it from another perspective, that's the expertise. We try to transfer the expertise of various experts in a specific domain so as to benefit from this experience in order to take a better and a more effective and efficient decision. So these are the two perspectives that may be used in any domain.
Yes. So can we benefit from the experience of other countries in applying artificial intelligence in development and in different fields?
Yes, definitely, because it's one methodology. But when we apply this methodology, we talk about some specific factors related to each and every country. So it's one methodology to be applied, and again, we're talking about how to acquire the knowledge, and we're working on the transfer of the knowledge. That's usually one of the main challenges. How can you get this knowledge out of the domain experts? That's a main challenge for us, because sometimes the domain expert does not really talk about all of the details related to a certain domain. So that's one of the main challenges for us.
Yes. So are we cooperating with certain countries in this domain?
Yes, definitely. Whether on the education level, that's why we have some cooperation with many countries, and that's a very important issue for us, because we're trying to transfer the knowledge of these experts and of these professors to our students, so that our students may be able to develop artificial intelligence systems.
So this means that artificial intelligence plays an important role in the educational process here in Egypt.
Of course.
So can you elaborate on this?
Okay, we were talking first about the e-learning.
Yes.
Especially in the in the coronavirus era. But then we switched to other types of learning. We're talking about intelligent tutoring systems. By intelligent tutoring systems, we talk about personalized educational services, because this system may be able to examine each learner and to know what we call the learning style of the learner, his or her learning style, the pace of learning, the background, and then to customize the learning material so as to fit the specific learner. Okay, so that's one of the main usage of the intelligent tutoring system. Again, we can make use of the artificial intelligence techniques in order to deal with the special needs.
Yes, and this is a very good idea. Yes.
That's a very good idea. And the learning difficulties faced by some students, we can face all this with the artificial intelligence.
So what are the kind of challenges that can face you in your work in the field of artificial intelligence?
I think a main challenge is the mindset of some of the decision makers, because some of the decision makers are not really convinced with making use of artificial intelligence. So we need to convince them.
Maybe we need a new generation of youths who are who knows the importance of artificial intelligence.
Or to convince the actual decision makers.
The old generations.
Exactly. So that's why I started my talk with saying that we need some awareness for all of the decision makers.
Yes.
Because the mindset is very important. Another challenge is the talented people. We need more talented people. We need more artificial intelligence specialists in our country. That's why the country is working on training programs and on educational programs so as to make the youth and the employees ready for this transformation.
Have we started already training employees about artificial intelligence, and how can they use it in the work?
Actually, I'm teaching this topic now maybe for the last 3 years in Police Academy. Yes, and in other places, but I'm focusing on Police Academy just because that's the main topic of our episode today. So people are getting more aware of the importance of artificial intelligence, and the nice thing is that they're very interested in getting to know the new technologies, because other countries are making use of these technologies, and because of the use of these technologies by the terrorists as well. So we need to be more ready, we need to be proactive dealing with these attacks. And that's the only way to get our people educated and to get our software. We need to develop our own software, and we need to convince the decision maker to make use of this software.
Yes. Finally, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Nevine Makram, Labib, Professor of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Consultant. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. I'm Sheena Aiden, and I was joined by my colleague, Mohammed Abdelrahim. Thank you for watching.